Greetings, GameCola faithful, and welcome to the GameCola Podcast. I am your host and podcast commander, Joseph Martin, and today I've got with me a couple of other college kids, and we're going to have a big old college podcast. If you've read the title, you probably already knew that, but I have Diana Gray and Anna Bryniarski. Please introduce yourselves.
What's up, everybody? I'm Diana Gray, resident fangirl and editor at GameCola.net, and I like video games.
Hi, I'm Anna Bryniarski, a staff writer for GameCola.net, and I also like video games.
This is very important for a video game themed podcast, I would imagine.
Thank God.
I'm no definitive expert. But okay, so today we're going to be talking about video games, college, and where those two topics intertwine. So one of the first things we wanted to talk about is like how video games may have been related to different college assignments that you had, because it seems to me, at least in more recent years, that talking about video games can be seen as more acceptable, as like the same thing as talking about movies or TV shows in certain respects. Diana, I know you had something that you thought was very appropriate for this topic.
So yeah, last semester I'm a sociology major, and I took a class on theory. This semester, I'm still a sociology major, and I have the same professor that I did last semester. Last semester, I wrote all 5 papers for that class on different video games. This semester, we only have 1 paper, I guess, for the class, and it seems like it would be a paper that would not lend itself well to video games, but my professor came up to me and was like, Diana, how are you going to do this paper on a video game? And I was like, I don't know. That's what I was thinking about. She was like, I already have ideas for you. Come see me, Towers. And so I really like that there are chill professors like that, because it kind of started as like a fluke. Like we were studying Durkheim and Vengeance, and I'd just been watching a bunch of Until Dawn playthroughs, and it was the exact same. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to write my paper on this. And I did, and she really liked it. So I was like, we got to keep the theme going. So I think I wrote the next paper on Story of Seasons and Animal Crossing, and about how Tom Nook is a dirty capitalist. The next
was that a compare and contrast?
Yes, because I addressed a lot of different topics about economic systems in that paper. And one of them was how Tom Nook charges you out the nose for everything ever. And the next one was BioShock Infinite, where I talked about leaders and charismatic leaders. And the last one, I didn't pick a specific game, but I did the multiplayer online community and what it means to be a player versus a part of a group as that. And I feel like I'm missing one, but it was good. It was a good semester.
So what was the name of the course?
The one that I was in last semester, it was just a Foundations of Social Theory class. And I basically adapted it to suit my needs. What was my Zimmel paper on? I think that's the one I'm missing. Oh, The Walking Dead, of course, because I just finished my playthrough around that time. I talked about the dynamic between Kenny, Lily, and Lee, and how that could change based on character choices, and how that related to a certain sociological theorist. I'm a nerd.
Your teacher liked all of those?
She loved it. It was awesome. We're like super good friends now. We're super tight. Because I would go to her office all the time and give her my papers and be like, read this. Is this, acceptable? Will you give me an A for this paper? And she was like, add more theory here. Stop talking about the game so much. And I was like, oh, okay. My bad. But we're, really good friends now. She was like, I've never played any of these games. I've only played Sims. And she wanted to play Sims for her daughter. And I was like, all right, we can bond over this. So I don't know what she's going to want me to do with this criminology paper. It's basically planning, a society reform. So I don't know how video games are going to work.
You need to play one of the Batman, Arkham City. Play that.
Yeah, I know. I was actually thinking about that.
I haven't played it either, but it sounds like it could. I don't know if it actually, addresses the fact that they put all the bad guys in a city, or if that's just, the premise and then you play the game.
I don't know. Maybe I'll look it up, but I'm in a meeting with her tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. That's my video game story.
I had 2 semesters ago, I had a video game music class, which, it's every time I say it, everybody says, oh, that sounds really cool. And conceptually, yeah, but
was it not cool?
Well, the subject was cool. It was a seminar, so when I could talk to people, we could talk to each other about music and video games. That was cool. But the professor really wanted it to be a lecture class.
Oh.
And so, you try to talk to someone across the room, about the topic, and like you would be talking to like a specific person, and he would like answer the question that you had from his perspective, even though you weren't asking him. And then there'd be times where someone would say something and he'd just go up to the board and start writing stuff, and like, okay, it's not how seminar really works.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk about Xenoblade?
We might have.
Because you should have, because that game has the best soundtrack
When
ever.
did Xenoblade come out?
2010?
What, like, was that when it was like really popular? Because I feel like it got its popularity boost a lot.
It got its popularity after.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly when the popularity... I mean, it's really more popular now than it ever was.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I feel like...
But that does not change the fact that it still had an amazing soundtrack and everyone should go listen to it.
Okay, most of the video game soundtracks we talked about were ones that he liked.
Oh.
So, we talked about...
Unless they're good.
Let's see, I remember the first one we talked about was Destroy All Humans, which is apparently one of the first games to actually use an orchestral recording, though I'm not sure I believe him on that.
I'm going to Google it. Hold on.
I mean, we did a lot of old game stuff, and we talked about, like, some of the stuff that was really interesting was, like, the different levels of how music was implemented in games, because, like, early on, it was very, like, there was a sound chip in the thing, and it was programmed to make certain sounds and certain things happen. And, like, how that gradually changed into... Because, like, now it's, like, there are, like, select... I don't know necessarily this, but, like, MP3 files or something that are, like, pieces of music that cue to play in certain situations.
See, that's cool.
As opposed to, like, having a program that, like, pokes the sound chip whenever it's supposed to do a certain thing. And there's not, like, a complete soundtrack recorded in. So talking about that sort of thing was cool. But I mean, there was one day where, like, near the end of class, he literally pulled up what I can only describe as, like, his own personal Let's Play video of, like, GTA 3 or something. And it was, like, the textbook terrible Let's Play.
Oh, no.
Like, long pauses between every single piece of dialogue. Literally the only commentary is like, I'm going to do this now sort of thing. Like, I'm going to go punch this guy. Silence as he runs towards the person, punches the person. Nothing happens for a little bit. I'm going to go do this. And we're just sitting there in class watching this. And he's like standing up there. Like, I can only imagine all proud of it. Like, he's there. He's not like like the video is talking, but he's like standing there, like watching it with us. Unironically, I was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
And another time, because I gave a presentation on Civilization 3 and how it used music. Particularly, like, one of the things that we read about in some of our papers was how in Civilization 3, like, you have the different periods of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, as you got through, like, the different stages of time, you got different, like, soundtracks that played behind your actions while you were playing in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, one of the things is that as the time period got more modern, the music, like, you know, the instrumentation updates too, right? But, like, there was a very high correlation with the modern music and Western music. So it was like basically as you progressed, the music got more like European and American stuff. But no matter what country you were playing. So like it would like you would be listening to like European modern music if you were playing Asia instead of modern Asian music. Like there was just none.
Weird.
So that was like, and there was a lot of other stuff too. It was a little bit more nuanced than that. So that was a presentation. I was really excited to give that presentation because I did like a lot of research and I was all ready for it. And it was like my turn to give a presentation. And he pushes my thing back so that we can watch his silent Let's Play of Catherine.
Wow.
He just like, it was just like, you know, Catherine, right? Where you're like jumping up on the blocks and stuff.
Yeah.
First of all, that's just an uncomfortable game to like
isn't that
watch
like
with other people.
Not a good game? Like, I mean, not meant by good, I mean like appropriate.
Yeah, like it's something that if you're gonna watch it with someone, you need to like watch it with a group of people. You need to like all know what you're getting into.
It's not
Yeah.
exactly seminar material.
So it was kind of like, of all the games, this one. And also, so he's just like playing, like there was no discussion of anything. Like the music wasn't important in the game. We just watched him play, and he said
It might
stuff
give us a
about
lot
it.
of cool symbolism, though. So like that would
There
be
is, but we didn't talk about that.
That sucks.
And I didn't get to give my presentation, and I was very upset.
Oh,
Aw.
that sucks. I'm
Horrible.
sorry.
I had to wait another week because it was a weekly seminar class to actually give it.
That's weird. It's kinda messed up.
So that was an adventure. But probably the best thing that came out of it was I was doing one of my readings, and it was talking about diverging paths and choices, and they brought up like adventure books, choose your own adventure books. And the example they used was
I already know where
the
this is going.
Mario Choose Your Own Adventure that we did
Yes.
with Paul that one time. Like
Oh.
literally, the diagram is like the exact options.
That is
Yeah,
literally
remember
one
that
of my
time you
favorite
guys
things.
failed at a book? That was fun.
Right.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite things we've ever done. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
We were unsure whether it was an RPG cast or a Hack and Slash. I remember
think
that.
it was technically an RPG cast.
It was technically an RPG cast, but it may as well have been a Hack and Slash.
I wanted to make fun of the grammar a lot, but it just was like the web page you were looking at didn't translate everything over well, so it didn't really
couldn't
count.
make fun of it.
We can only make fun of it from like a storytelling perspective, not a...
Which we did.
Which we did. True. Anna, have you been able to do any video game stuff with your college projects?
So,
Ooh, so there's a story after that.
Here we go. Here we go.
speech and hearing does not give much room to write papers about video games.
I think
Unfortunately,
sociology, but I mean it worked.
I have a minor. I'm minoring in psych, and for some reason that's not working either. I keep trying my best. Closest I've gotten is when I had to do a quote unquote observation of speech in a school-aged child. So I used my cousin, and the closest I could get was saying, "Oh, by the way, he was playing video games during this entire interview." So there's that.
There you go.
But yeah, in 3 years, I have not been able to do very much. I did freshman year, I did nothing, and I got a Super Nintendo for Christmas that year, and so I just kind of played in my room, because I didn't have very many friends. Good time. I went to Gamers Guild a few times. We have Gamers Guild, which is a bunch of nerds just showing up and playing video games in the Student Center. Sophomore year, I joined a sorority, or professional women's fraternity. That's what it is. And when we were saying fun facts about ourselves, every time I have a fun fact, I talk about GameCola. So I play GameCola at every fraternity event I go to. And then this year, not much else. So yeah, I don't get to do many fun video game related things with school. It's kind of sad.
One of the interesting things that I found out is that so I'm in a work study in the theater scene shop, and something that's really popular there that surprised me is the Zero Escape series.
Really?
It's actually like a lot, like there are a bunch of people in the theater scene shop who are really into it, and they were getting like other people into it like over the course of my working there. Like they were constantly talking about it.
Okay, I was gonna wait until I was on another Zero Escape video to talk about this, but can we just talk about the fact that the main character of the next Zero Escape game is named Diana? I'm terrified they know about me.
It'll make it easier for you to project.
Yeah, I know, but like, I think it was, I'm still in the process of watching the last Zero Escape video that came out, which is the latest one up to this date.
So wait, there's a third one coming out now.
Yeah, that's the third game. The third game is coming out. It was announced at Anime Expo. I wasn't there. I was bitter about that. But there's a third game coming out.
Is it called like 11111?
Yeah. Let me look it up really quick because I was just looking up stuff.
V, but instead of V's, it's ones.
Zero Time Dilemma is what it's called.
Was the second one actually called 10-10-10 in any form, or did that
No, I just made that up. That is not. No, it's called Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward.
But 10-10-10 isn't in it at all. Like,
no, I just made that up.
Okay.
That's not real. Stop reminding me of 10-10-10. But anyways, so yeah, the main character of the third game's name is Diana, and that freaks me out.
I still haven't played any of them.
They're really good, and I mean, even if you don't like own them, you should watch the walkthroughs, because I know I have 999, but I don't know if I've actually I know I've started it. I don't think I've actually like gotten all the endings yet. I know I finished the walkthrough that we did on GameCola.
It's always one of those things where I'm trying to decide, because if I watch the walkthrough, then I'm definitely not going to play it, because it definitely seems like the kind of game where a walkthrough means
A full walkthrough, yes,
yeah.
but
Isn't GameCola's a full walkthrough?
yes, but it's like in parts. So like, because there's different endings, right? There's well, I don't remember how 999 I don't think was endings for specific characters. I think it was just multiple endings. So it's segmented depending on like what ending you get, if that made sense at all. They brought up 10-10-10 again on the last Zero Escape video, and it makes me mad.
So I thought I figured that it wasn't like an actual thing with the game.
No, I 100% made that up.
But like I thought it was like a general fan term. I didn't realize that you specifically.
No, I don't even know. The general fan term is VLR.
I might have called it 10-10-10 in front of a bunch of people, which they probably thought I was just being funny. But I thought that was just like actually what people.
No, that is not a thing.
I mean, that's what I would do, though.
That's why I did it.
Let's talk about how shitty internet is.
It's a real problem
in college, because it sucks.
It's actually a big problem in college.
But let's just talk about that.
I have a story about terrible internet. So at the very beginning of school, when I was moving back into my dorm, we went to Bed Bath & Beyond to buy like a bunch of stuff for my dorm room. And the lady had like this checklist of all the things that you're supposed to buy for your dorm room, right? And one of the things on there was like the cable that like, connects your laptop to the internet if you don't have wireless. And my dad looks at me, he's like, do you need that? And I was like, no, I trust my college's internet. I'll be fine. Finals week, last day before my last final, internet dies for everyone on campus.
Oh my god.
I took a picture of my screen, like it said, you're not connected to the internet. And I sent it to my dad and I was like, yeah, okay. I take back everything I ever said about my college's internet. I want that cable now. But it came back in like 3 hours.
Our wired connection is actually worse than our wireless connection. I don't understand how that works. I'm guessing it's just because it's not maintained the way the wireless is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on the guest right now because I can't connect to this. I can't connect to the official one because it just doesn't like my computer. But I've been doing guest since since I started running the podcast. At least I've been doing guest, and it works okay. I've even done online stuff with people too, and it's not that bad.
I'm actually off campus now, like living off campus, so I don't really know what to say there.
How's your off? Can you get the campus signal all the way from?
I cannot, because I am at the way back. Like where I am living is right across from campus, but we're in the section that is furthest away from campus, so I am not able to reach that far. But like, the provided internet here is really bad, and the Wi-Fi that we have, that my roommate is paying for, is a little bit better sometimes, and then other times it's just like way worse.
That's lame.
Yeah, it could be way, way worse. I could still be there.
Very true. Very true.
But I know people here who do online gaming stuff, like where the internet would be like, having good internet would be like really important. And they seem to get along fine with it. Like people who play Counter-Strike Go or MOBAs. I don't know which. I think League of Legends is the one I've seen someone play. And I feel like those are like very like, they're designed so that having good internet matters. I just sit around and play Pokemon Showdown all day. So
yeah,
we need to organize a Pokemon Showdown GameCola tournament. This I swear.
Somebody needs to fight me.
I love Pokemon.
I haven't played Pokemon in so long.
Have you guys done Pokemon Showdown?
No, I haven't.
No.
Have you seen it before though?
No.
I have seen it, yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of fun for me. Cause like you see, most of the stuff you see is like people who've like made teams and do stuff, but you can just go in and like have a random battle and it completely randomizes all the Pokemon you get on your side and your opponent's Pokemon.
That'd be awesome.
Then their levels are scaled so that legendary Pokemon who are really good would be like level 70, and like really terrible Pokemon that you would never use will be like level 90 something.
Awesome.
Nice.
So that it's all scaled.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to just like, I'm just going to play a quick game, click, and then you're doing a random battle. I find in college it's very nice to just be able to do that every once in a while. Just the better you get, there's like a threshold because at the beginning it's usually people who know that they're just like if you're playing building teams, at the beginning it's usually people who are just starting or are trying out a new team, and so they know that they're going to be bad, so it's fine. And then as you get better, you'll get people who are more frustrated because they've hit their skill cap, and so they're just frustrated. But then you get higher up in the ladder, and it's people who have their stuff together well enough that they wouldn't be able to get around if they were mature enough to be jerks. If they were immature enough to be jerks. And so once I feel like around the 1500 mark, things even out, and so that you don't get a lot of jerks being like, oh my gosh, hacks, when they're like 70% accuracy move doesn't hit. Focus miss, as I like to call it, instead of focus blast.
Nice.
So here's another sort of topic at college. Do you ever do online games with people that you knew from back home or just around? You know that normally you might have played with in person before, but now that everyone gets all spread out for college.
I actually do not. I'm not big on like multiplayer games in the first place, and the fact that the only system that I own personally is my Super Nintendo. I don't really have the opportunity to play any other multiplayer games.
Well, what about like on the computer?
Still no.
Okay.
I agree with that. Well, any multiplayer games that we played like are either like locked on the system, so like I don't have a Wii U or anything that I can play like with my friends yet. Working on it, but this is gonna already kind of. I would consider it almost an answer to your question because my friends and I are very into dating sims. You play on your phone. So what we'll do is we have a Facebook chat that runs, and then whenever like something important happens, we'll take pictures and send them to each other. So that way, because that's what we do when we were at home. So that way we keep everyone up to date on who we're dating and how well we're doing in the story. It's great. We call our chat the trash can, and it's awesome.
That's perfect.
That's as close to multiplayer as you're gonna get, especially when we're dating the same guy. Then it gets awkward. Which I currently
what I do is when I was playing through Holiday Star and I got towards the end, and we have a group me for my sorority, and I just complained to everyone that I was very upset.
I don't want to talk about it.
You didn't like Holiday Star?
I'm not.
Yeah.
No, it's not that I didn't like it. I'm just not ready to talk about it yet.
You're gonna have to come to terms with it before the Hunterful Boyfriend podcast.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
The Hacks and Slash. It's the next Hacks and Slash.
No, I'm gonna feel so bad now. Oh crap.
And I also believe that you volunteered to be in charge of it. So.
Did I? I thought I volunteered to be the main character. I didn't know that I volunteered to be in charge of it, but I can't.
I think I volunteered to be in charge, and then I totally forgot because I have other things going on. I forgot. Oh no.
That's okay. We still have time.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I've played the most that I've done is play when Smash Brothers came out freshman year. There were lots of people who I played the demo with.
Mm-hmm.
The other game that I've been doing online a lot, I haven't done it here because my DS doesn't work with the internet, but over Christmas, Triforce Heroes.
Is that a good game?
It is a really good game. It's a lot better if you can play with friends, but even without friends, it's still pretty decent.
Oh, perfect.
Good to know.
You just might want to stick to the earlier levels can be a lot of fun because even with people who don't know what they're doing, it's usually pretty easy to help them figure out what they need to do. There's usually multiple ways to solve a puzzle in the early sections.
Okay.
So there might be a most efficient way, but because one of the things is that people there are some levels where it's set up so that people have different items, so people have different roles and responsibilities in a given level, right? So if there are certain things that are a lot easier if the person with the bow and arrow knows what they're doing. But if the person with the bow and arrow does not necessarily know what they're doing, you can usually still manage, even if they did literally nothing.
Is there
the early levels?
Is there online?
Well, yeah, no, its whole thing is pretty much online.
No, I mean Okay. Because I was under the assumption that it was not like local, but like maybe I was thinking local. I don't know. I don't have it, and I don't know anyone who has
You
it.
can do you can do local wireless, or you can do online with friends
Okay.
or with strangers. And a cool thing that
with
they
strangers
do,
is what I was asking.
yeah, a cool thing that you can do is if you only have one friend to play it with, you can still do online with that friend and a stranger.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay.
So you don't have to have a full party of friends to do it.
Does it remind you of Four Swords at all? Like
I didn't play through Four Swords. I still need to get a group of people to play that with. But from what I've seen of Four Swords, it seems pretty much like the same sort of idea.
Okay.
The toteming, the main difference obviously would be the totem game mechanic, which is really used well.
That's good, because I wasn't very interested in it when I first heard about it.
It's really well designed, definitely. And one of the weird things was that the people at the beginning of the game were really nice and really cool. And then I got to like, the way it works is like you got like world 1. You can play the levels in any order in a world. It's like sort of like people pick, and then if you disagree, it does like a roulette and stuff like that. But then you start at world 1, then worlds 2, 3, and 4 open after you beat world 1. And then after you beat 2, 3, and 4, you get a world 5. And then after world 5, 6 and 7 open. And the place where I met the most people who seemed like they didn't know what they were doing was in 6 and 7. And I don't understand why. Because you have to pass the threshold of understanding all the other stuff before you get to that point.
True.
And yet,
that doesn't make sense.
I didn't understand it. And it was around the time where I went to college, and my internet doesn't work as well with the 3DS here. So I haven't really played it since. But if a bunch of GameCola people get that game, I would be super down for playing through some of the levels with them, because the levels also have a lot of replay value. Like it's fun to like go through the levels again. Their challenges, which you'll play like the exact same level but with certain restraints, like a timer or like a don't pop the balloons or pop all the balloons, or like
interesting.
My favorites are the ones where they change up the item distribution. So there'll be like one where it was like really heavily bow and arrow stuff, and then it's like complete this level only using bombs.
Cool.
And it's like,
I like that.
And you like play it and you see that it's really possible to do it. They don't really like maybe every once in a while they'll change a little thing. For the most part, you'll figure out that you can honestly play the whole level just using bombs, and it's not like it still works. The level's not completely broken.
That's really cool. I like that.
Playing back through with the different costumes you can get with different powers.
Yeah, I know I saw a lot about the costumes, and I was like, okay, that looks like fun.
Yeah, it's a really well designed game. Part of it is, now it's the most fun when you have a group of friends to play it with, definitely. But it's not bad. It's not bad without it, but it's going to be more frustrating because you are going to have to sift through a couple of people who might. There's some people who are like actively malicious, some people who just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but you take that hazard with any multiplayer game.
Right. So, but like especially if you can get a bunch of friends to play with you, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, I will take that into consideration, but the next Amazon, actually, that might be something interesting to talk about. So my friend recommended me for this, he does like survey stuff to like make extra money for college because we're broke. And he is doing this one for like PC gamers. And he was talking to me in the dining hall the other day, and he was like, wait, why didn't I recommend you for it? And I was like, I have a YouTube channel, you dummy. Like, I would be awesome to talk to. Are you kidding me? So he recommended me for it, and they called me today, and I might be doing an interview. And if I get compensated for that, that's going towards my Wii U, which I will hopefully buy, so that you know why. So I can buy Xenoblade Chronicles X. Only reason. Because it's a little delayed now, and I really need to play it. And no one around here has a Wii U. It's very sad.
All right, sort of going off of that interest in gaming stuff. So we all do some sort of extra gaming stuff. First, GameCola, obviously.
Yes.
But then, Diana, you've got your Let's Play channel.
I do.
I've got the podcasts, running the podcast, and then my own sort of channel. I don't really do a whole lot with it now that I do the podcasts. But What do people usually think when they find out about stuff like that? Because Anna, you've said that you plug it whenever you get the chance.
Oh, of course.
So how does that usually go?
It's just like, oh, that's cool, and then the conversation goes somewhere else.
You ever try to show them GameCola stuff?
The last time I did that, I was since the site is currently on hiatus.
Right.
I can't get to the article on my computer, so I found it on my phone. I was looking at the hiatus article that Jetty posted, and the little drawing there that says, I forget what it says exactly, and I don't have my phone immediately on me, but it was so funny that I decided to save it, and then send it to the group me, and a few people liked it, and that's about as far as I've gone. Like, I also tried showing my roommate some of the Oregon Trail family game night video. She thought it was pretty funny.
I try to get people to watch Hacks and Slash all the time.
Oh, me too.
Same. Yeah, doesn't work that well. Because I kind of forget.
But you can't start with Metroid High School, I found, because you have to be invested in the format to stick with it, because we take a long time to get started in Metroid High School.
Yeah.
I never really realized that until I started trying to show it to people.
It's one of the funnier ones, though.
That's true.
They're all funny, though.
What would you recommend? What do you think is the best Hacks and Slash to start showing someone?
The first one.
The first one?
Yeah.
I think you kind of have to do them in order. It just makes the most sense.
At least to us it does, because that's how they came out, and that's how we listen to them.
Dan, what about you?
In regards to the plugging the other stuff?
Plugging either GameCola or your YouTube channel.
Well, I plug GameCola. I don't know how, I definitely plug Hacks and Slash to one of my really good friends, the same guy who recommended me for that survey. I will listen to stuff with him, and I'll let him listen to it. But that's about the extent of GameCola. Depending on if I've written anything I feel is pertinent, then I will tell people about it. But my YouTube channel, given the material on my YouTube channel, I only tell people about it when I really trust them. Because, there's like a certain portion of the college population that you don't really want to know about your pigeon dating habits. So, for example, my roommates, I'm in a quad, and so I had a roommate. I do not currently have a roommate because she was an exchange student, and now she's gone. Sad face, I miss her. But my other two roommates only found out about my channel right before Christmas break, and I don't know if they've watched any of it. And I just told another good friend of mine, last week or so, and she was like, why did you not tell me about this sooner? This is the greatest thing that I've ever done, watching all the videos. And I'm like, oh god. And then my closest friends know about it, but as proud as I am of it, there's like a certain part of a group of people that you don't necessarily want to know about your dating pigeons. And also the next game is also that I'm LPing, not to give any, well, no, it won't be out by the time this goes up. It's also going to involve dating animals. So
oh, I know what you're doing now.
Yeah, it's an iffy area. So
see, I can't imagine you being you and not like being 100% enthusiastic and open about dating pigeons.
Yeah,
it's a sensitive topic. If someone were to directly ask me, "Do you have a YouTube channel?" I would probably tell them yes, and tell them about it. But
what if someone directly asked you, "Do you date pigeons?"
Yes.
You would answer yes.
Well, yes, and then I would say yes, and then go, well, and then add a clarification onto
What
that.
if you weren't allowed to add a clarification?
Then I'd say maybe.
It has to be yes or no, Diana.
Well, I have in the past, and currently, yes. But I just recorded one of the bonus episodes for Holiday Star, and yeah, that was an experience.
The entire game was an experience.
It was great. That'll be up by the time this goes up, actually. The first bonus episode lets you play like a dating sim style episode, and you can choose whether you want them to be birds or humans. So of course I chose humans because I wanted to see it, and god damn, like they were so much fun. And it was very disconcerting. I almost didn't like it. Like it wasn't my classic fanciful boyfriend pigeon dating. So that didn't really answer your question, but that's my answer to your question. Yes, I date pigeons. I also dating bunnies and cats.
Yeah, can't wait.
I'm scared, honestly. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. That's a game I've been playing. Well, I need to practice probably some, because that I should be playing more at college is this game because
Practice
it's gonna be a lot.
dating sim.
Yeah,
There
it's
are some that you have to do some like you have to. It's like you have to get these stats and things.
It's stat management, like hardcore stat management.
Okay, so it's not just like choose your own adventure style.
No, it's like
you have to do all this
really
shit.
know. There are dates, never mind, but there's not a whole lot of choosing dialogue options, at least as far as I can remember, because I've gotten one ending. That was my practice, but that was also like 6 months ago. So I really need to go back in, and I'm gonna be using a guide the entire way to tell me like what stats I need to worry about. Not telling me what dates or what activities to do, but telling me what stats I need to manage. Because it's going to be a train wreck if I don't have that. But now that I do not have a roommate in my actual room with me, because my other two we have a common room, and then my other two roommates have a room, it's a lot easier to record.
I would imagine.
My roommate was actually a person that I talked to about my YouTube channel like the first day that I met her, which probably was kind of scared her a little bit, but I figured I had to tell her if I was. So
you need to talk.
There are people that talk to you about it. I was like, look, I have a YouTube channel. I probably will be recording games about dating pigeons. It's a thing. I think I was playing Walking Dead at the time school started, I think. And that went through November. So I would not start dating pigeons until like right before Christmas. So yeah, she was around for a little bit of the pigeon dating. See, I'm upfront about it. I date pigeons. There's nothing wrong with that.
We do not question that you are upfront about dating pigeons. We were questioning that you would ever be reserved about it.
Yeah. There are times when I'm reserved about it, yes, but it depends
Not
on
when
who
you're
it is.
around us.
It depends on how well I know the person. Like, I know you guys really well, so like I'm okay. Plus, you guys already know about my YouTube channel. There's nothing I can do about that. I regret
what?
Nothing.
That's you?
Yeah, it is.
I thought you just managed it.
No. That would be me. Yeah, no.
Illusion shattered.
Sorry about that. I really want to get some Ace Attorney playthroughs going on here, though, but I need to find a way to do that because people have been asking me about it, and I'm like, look, I know my fangirl, but if I do not have the recording capability, I do not have the recording capability.
Well, how did you do the ones for GameCola?
Michael did those.
Oh,
Michael did. They were on the Wii.
So you were talking over Michael's recordings.
I'm talking over Michael's playthrough.
Okay.
I mean, I wish I could record them, but I'm getting there. Hopefully someday.
Okay. Well,
what else should we talk about?
Going back to something Anna said earlier, because Anna, you were talking about like a gamers group of
Gamers Guild. Yes.
Yes, that the letter G. So stuff like that. Is there any sort of gaming stuff at college that you do? Outside of class? Perish the thought.
I haven't been going to Gamers Guild very often, mostly because I don't even know. I just haven't been in the mood to go out and talk to people. But when I did go more often, what would happen is I would kind of just sit there and play games, and then other people would be playing Smash. Some people would play like Pokemon. Some people were playing Pokemon Coliseum. There were people doing like card tournaments in another room, and then there were other people playing D&D in other rooms. Freshman year, I tried to play D&D, and it didn't work out as well as it did for the RPG cast. So I was just like, I don't know any of you people, so I'm just gonna not speak at all.
They didn't have pancakes of theirs, so
they didn't have pancakes. It was such a disappointment. But it is a lot of fun, and like near the end of the night, we kind of just goof around. And one night we played Ninja while people were cleaning up. And
like the one where you try to like hit people's hands when you're standing in a circle.
That was like the same week that I'd injured my leg. So it was the worst decision I'd ever made, but it was worth it.
Sort of hijacking off on topic a little bit with you, because with the D&D, there's a D&D group here, and I've like sort of listened to them, because they just meet like in the union, where like anyone can just listen and hear. And so like one time I like sat close to see like if their style playing would be like the kind of thing.
Just kind of eavesdropping nonchalantly.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like they were being quiet about it.
Yeah.
They were out like in the mid, like it wasn't like in a room in the union. They were in like the main union area where people were like doing homework and stuff.
Oh.
And it's just like I really could only do an RPG session with in the style that GameCola's is, where it's like really like loose, you know?
Yeah.
Because as someone who has never DM'd a game ever or GM'd a game ever, but is going to have opinions about it anyway, I feel like the best kind of GM is one that really just lets the story be whatever the players want it to be. And part of it might have just been that was the kind of story that the players wanted to do too. But it was like very, I don't want to just say structured, but just like very, everyone was just playing by the rules and not even like.
Not taking mechs and just blowing shit up.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there was just that no one was like, everyone was doing whatever made the most sense, I guess is sort of what, and they weren't like, it wasn't like whatever would be the most fun, just like whatever would, complete the game quickest, complete the objective the quickest.
That's boring.
Right, and I preferred when we were allowed to, because like it didn't sidetrack. Like in our Final Fantasy RPG cast, there was like Nathaniel who was running it had this like throwaway line how after like because the point is you're supposed to save the princess. And, like, part of it, he just had this throwaway joke line where he said, like, you'll get to celebrate at a pancake brunch. And so we totally made it, like, we just wanted to have pancakes. We didn't care about saving the princess or being heroic or anything. And, it didn't change the story objective or anything, really. Because, I mean, we're still trying to do the same thing, just for not the reasons that he might have originally intended. But it was a lot more fun, just because, like, we chose why we were doing it instead of doing it out of nobility, because this is boring.
Yeah,
so.
It was a lot of fun. Maybe they just wanted to, maybe they were more serious about it, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
to each their own.
With that. It's just not, I think they're the only real group on campus. And you really got to do it with people that you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like, there can easily be, like, these unspoken rules you don't realize, especially if all the other people know, like, kind of what it is, what's supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
And, like, even if it was, like, a group of friends who had that and then you joined them as their friend, but you still didn't know what you were doing, like, you'd at least have, like, oh, they're doing this because that's who they are. I'm familiar with this person. This is to be expected of them in this situation. But like with strangers, it's like, is this person trying to change what we're doing? Or like, I don't know. So there's only one real group. So I wish we could do RPG casts more often, but obviously it takes a long time to do, to make that. I think I don't want to call him out because he's very busy, and so this could be like this is just a very side project. I think Nathaniel has been working on an Earthbound RPG.
Oh, I so want in.
Which, if he does, I would like to know when he starts getting close so I can play Earthbound before he finishes so I can do it if there's space open for me.
I would love to be in on that.
So would I. But I was in the last one, so I'm just going to be like, nope, go ahead.
When was the last one?
It was my freshman year.
Was it not?
I believe.
I think the last official one was the Paul's Adventure book.
Oh, was it? Was that? Oh, yeah, I guess that one was.
I keep forgetting that was an RPG cast because it was like something completely different.
Yeah, the last like campaign one I think was Final Fantasy.
Okay.
I think it went Crystallis made.
Yeah, because that was when I was in.
Crystallis made Final Fantasy. Well, okay, well no, because there've been the book ones. The Nancy Drew ones.
Yeah, the Nancy Drew ones.
Oh,
yeah. We should make Michael do some more of those.
Those are fun.
Oh, I love the one with Paul, Michael, Ridgway, and Nathaniel.
I remember posting a picture because I was at home and I went to In-N-Out and I got In-N-Out and one of them said, make sure you share with the Hardy Brothers, and I said no. And they got mad.
The character dynamics of that one. The character dynamics
were phenomenal. I liked the one we did.
The one that you guys
I left you in the swamp to die.
Where I died. I kept like almost dying.
The one that you guys did.
Bye.
Michael didn't explain something to me, so someone died because I was helping test it. And then he mentioned like, "Oh, did I not mention that?" He's like, could that have saved somebody?" I'm like, "Yes, Michael. Maybe it could have." And then he blamed me, and I was like, "Dude,
yeah, I remember him telling us that you killed someone."
Yeah, because he didn't explain something to me. I was like, fine, whatever. I was very upset with him.
Oh, I was sitting here, I was like, what was our original question? How did we get on this? But yeah, gaming stuff like at college with other people. Diana, it's your turn.
I think my college just had a gaming club that kind of started this year. They haven't really done too much yet. They had like one. I know they were trying to get like a competitive Halo team off the ground, but that's not my thing. And they had like a game night it's like right around my birthday, so sometime in October. And we went over there. A couple friends and I went over there, and they had 8-player Smash going. So we sat down for a game of that. My friend had never played 8-player Smash before, and we were both given GameCube controllers, and that's not what we're used to. I probably came in like 4th or something, and he like wins the whole thing. And he was like, I've never used a GameCube controller. And everyone's kind of like looking at him like, I'm going to kill you. And I was like, Dennis, we're leaving. Let's go. And we played a bit of Just Dance, which was fun. And then I successfully beat 6 or 7 guys at Mario Kart Wii without losing a single race, which was fun because that game is my jam. So then none of the guys wanted to be friends with me because I beat them. So that was, I didn't make any friends that night, but you know, it happened.
But hey, you won Mario Kart.
I did. I won. I don't think I lost a race. Like, I came in first for every single one. I'm really good with Bowser on a bike, what can I say? But that's about it. They haven't really done anything else since then, but but Dennis, the guy I mentioned earlier, he has a PS4 in his room. So I was over there on Friday, actually. We were playing he was trying to teach me how to play Battlefront, the Star Wars one, but I was like really bad at it. So I kept dying. He got really mad at me. He was like, don't go under the walker. And I was like, but I was trying to shoot it from underneath. Like, I thought that would work. Didn't someone do that at some point in the Star Wars movies? Like, I thought that was a thing. He was like, no, that doesn't work. Get out of there. And I was like, oh, well, apparently Star Wars logic doesn't work here. So,
in the Star Wars video game.
In the Star Wars video game. Maybe I think they shot like a harpoon at it or something. But you know what? It's the same thing. So, that didn't work. But that was fun. So I'm trying to convince him to get Until Dawn so we can play it. But I also forced him to get Heavy Rain. This was before he got a PS4. He thought he was going to be bringing his PS3 to school. So now we can't play Heavy Rain, which is one of my favorite games that I've also actually never played, only seen played. But I told him he has to play it over the summer, and he has to Skype me while he plays it so that I can help him, because that's a good game. But PS4 games don't support. Sean! Jason!
Have you seen the video where there was like a glitch, and so it's like during cutscenes and you can
it's the end of the game. It's like the emotionally charged end of the game, and you can still hit the Sean button.
That's a glitch, right? Like, that's not normal.
No, that's not normal. Like the FBI agent is confronting the bad guy on the top of the like garbage dump thing, and you can just hear Sean,
Sean.
Actually,
Sean!
Some people that I watch were playing Tomb Raider, right? Like not the new one. Actually, I don't even know if the new one has come out yet, but the last one that came out. Like, at the end of the game, you save her friend from like the evil people or whatever. I don't really remember how the game goes. And she's being like tortured or like in pain or something, and she's like screaming the whole time you're fighting the guy. And in the end, Laura like goes down to her and is like holding her in her arms and is like, it's okay. And they had a glitch where she's still screaming in the background. So like it's like doing this dramatic zoom out of the like the ruins where you're in, and you just hear ah! Ah! Like the whole time. They're just like, oh, this is such a touching moment. It's only the death rattle. It was horrible. But it was also the greatest thing that ever happened, because it was supposed to be a happy ending, and she probably died. I don't know.
Oh.
I love glitches like that. I would put them in on purpose.
Put them in on purpose for people to find and just be like,
yes.
That's hilarious. I'd look for those.
I think at that point they're just called Easter eggs then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
I know.
I've played a ton more Smash Brothers since I started coming to college.
Really?
In our freshman dorm, it was one of the games that we had on the Wii U that we had like just in our common space. And so there was, you could pretty much get someone to play Smash Bros. With you whenever you wanted. And we had a lot of times where we could do like, maybe not necessarily 8, but like over 4-player games. And those are a lot of fun, obviously. I learned how to play Bowser just for those, because the big heavy characters have such a higher utility in 8-player Smash.
Yeah, I agree.
You're gonna take hits. Like, it's inevitable that you'll take hits. So being a light character is not really beneficial. But if you have a big character with like who has powerful moves that have a long time wind up, it's going to be harder for people to just get out of the way from them.
Yeah.
Like they would in a 1-versus-1. But now that it's your freshman dorm is always a lot closer. At least here, freshman dorms are always a lot closer than sophomore and beyond. So I just have a couple friends and we play, but we still play it pretty much almost every weekend, pretty much every Friday. If we're busy, we might skip one every once in a while. But so we have one guy who's like really into the competitive Smash scene. He doesn't do anything himself, but he's like always watching him and he's like looking up techniques. And so I've gotten better at the game because I just, instead of like doing all the research myself, I just wait until we play and then just try to copy whatever he starts doing.
Nice. That's what I've been trying to do with one of my friends because she plays a mean Zero Suit Samus. And so I've been trying to copy her. It doesn't work. Like when we would play
Zero
together.
Suit Samus.
What are your mains? What are all your mains?
Depends.
Wii U,
I would
by the
love
way.
to main Shulk, but he's really hard actually to master. I would main Shirtless Shulk. If you don't main Shirtless Shulk, you're playing the game wrong. But if I'm actually playing like an actual match and I actually want to try and win, my main is Robin.
Which Robin?
My main is definitely Zero Suit Samus.
What do you mean, which Robin?
Well, there's like all the different colors. And
the red-haired one.
I wish there was, I would probably do the red-haired guy one if there were such a thing.
I love Fire Emblem Awakening like so much. I think it was just because it imprinted on me at that one moment where I didn't realize that there was marriage in the game. And I was shipping me and Crom together for so long, and then it happened, and it was like 3 a.m, and I thought I was dreaming the whole thing. It was great. I was literally crying.
I main Mega Man and Bowser.
Have I mentioned that I detest Mega Man? I think I've mentioned that before.
We've talked about it.
Okay.
Because
I
remember being upset at you about it.
It's only because I'm really bad at playing him.
Playing him or playing against him?
Playing him.
Okay.
Because I tried. Like, I did all the All-Star things and everything on my DS, and like playing with him was just hell for me because I can't.
Well, like
I'm so used to other players that's like other characters that I'm just like I can't. I don't. Why?
Mega Man's like Duck Hunt and Little Mac in that there's a really specific way you have to play them, which is different than pretty much all the other characters. All the other characters you can pretty much follow a similar formula. And like stuff that works for one character will usually kind of at least work for another character, aside from like specials. But Mega Man, Duck Hunt, and Little Mac are characters. Oh, and Ryu are characters where you really have to change your play style because a lot of their regular attacks are different. Like Little Mac, you can't jump in the air. You should not.
Little Mac will lose Mario Battle.
And don't do side B near the edge.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Actually, I feel like I've shown this picture of Little Mac versus Big Mac.
Yeah.
And then
I don't remember this.
It's like a picture of it's like on Miiverse, and it's like a crudely drawn version, and someone like did Little Mac versus Big Mac, and it's just like a Little Mac and a hamburger. And then there's a reply post where the Big Mac is sitting on the edge of the stage, and it's Little Mac doing his side B off the edge, and it's Little Mac saying shoot.
Actually, come to think of it, I think at that Smash thing I mentioned earlier where we were playing 8-player Smash, we played 2 rounds. The first time I actually tried and I played as Robin. The second time I saw that everyone was way better than me and they were actually really good. So I played as Shirtless Shulk, and all of my friends immediately knew that was me. Like, they don't even know about Xenoblade. They were just like, Diana, that shirtless guy is you, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. Like, you're playing the game wrong. You don't play Shirtless Shulk at least one time. I'm sorry. He's just very attractive.
When I'm doing my for fun characters, it's usually really fast ones like Captain Falcon, or especially if I just want to have fun and not care, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
My friend here mains, I think he means Pikachu most of the time.
Pikachu.
That we use, yeah.
The guy who is like really into the Smash scene plays Pikachu a lot, and he's really good with Pikachu, and it's really frustrating.
My friend who plays Zero Suit Samus also plays Pikachu. So, like, I was used to Pikachu going into playing with my friend. I think he actually lost Smash recently, though, so we can't play together anymore, which is probably why I haven't been playing a lot of Smash lately, because I don't have anyone to play more.
Yeah, I haven't played in a while either.
My time is still dominated by Story of Seasons, which with occasional breaks for Happy Home Designer, which I need to get back to. I need to play that more than I do right now, because I'm, like, kind of obsessed. Although I don't feel like my rooms are as pretty as everyone else's that I see, so it's very sad.
I've been, I neglected Animal Crossing for a month because I was playing Fantasy Life.
Yeah.
And
I just went back to that game recently, actually.
It's so good. But no one moved away. Somebody was
good.
moving in, and it was someone from my sister's town, so I texted her. I was like, please don't kill me. But I think one of your villagers is moving. And she's just like, nah, it's okay. I have an octopus now. I'm like, that's amazing. And then, like, a day and a half later, I was talking to one of my villagers, and she was like, I'm gonna move out. And I was like, oh no. And then I accidentally pressed, okay, bye.
No.
That's
the worst.
And I texted her again because for some reason my sister never talks to me when I'm away unless it's about Animal Crossing. I'm just like, what's wrong with you?
My sister doesn't talk to me and she's here.
Wow.
Anyways.
Diana, you're gonna ruin her street cred with all your pigeon dating.
Yeah, that's actually probably true. I don't think she knows about my YouTube channel. I have not told my family about my YouTube channel, actually, funnily enough.
I've stopped sharing articles on Facebook because I don't want my family to somehow find my How to Full Boyfriend review.
Yeah, no, my sisters would, like, disown me, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, that's one thing I can't do. My mom actually came in to ask me how my writing for GameCola was going over Christmas, though, which was weird. She picks the randomest times I'm home to come in. She's like, so, have you been writing for that website lately? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, okay. She leaves. And I'm like, all right, good talk, Mom. Like, that's cool. Whatever.
My parents really don't care as long as I'm, like, alive and well. They make sure I'm okay, that's it. Which is fine. I've been debating whether I should play Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney again, and I probably will eventually, but
I've been actually thinking about playing it again too.
It's so good.
Although, thank God, I almost played the ending again just to see Edgeworth, and I found out, I saw it on, like, a review or something. If you play the ending again in, like, the same file, it's not Edgeworth that shows up.
What?
I would have been so angry.
Wait, so what happened? Wait, like, it replaced?
I think it's, like, the prosecutor, the British not, like, the one that you face at the beginning of the game when you're Phoenix Wright and you're in a British court. It's that one. I would have been so angry.
Does it change the plot if you watch the
No, it's the very ending, so not changing much, just it's not Edgeworth.
I still vividly remember, like, getting to the end of that game. It was 3 a.m, and I was
Your
like,
revelations tend to happen at 3 a.m, don't they?
They do. A lot of things happen at 3 a.m, and that happened, and I cried. I cried.
I got so excited, and I was very underwhelmed, like, when I got to the end, because I'd been sitting there for, like, hours just going, please end. Oh my god, it's not over.
Yeah, I was doing that,
like,
and then we got to Edgeworth,
but I was like,
please don't end. Please continue showing Edgeworth.
I think one of the most shocking parts in the game, it was one of those 3 a.m. moments, except I don't think it was actually 3 a.m. because I can't do that on a school night. But it was one of those moments where I was like, no! Because if you don't follow me on Twitter, don't do it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I do I like complain about video games all the time. Like when I finished the Deponia series, I was freaking out when I finished literally any game that breaks me in some way. I will scream about it on Twitter because I can't do it out loud.
I didn't see you screaming about Holiday Star until I talked to you about it.
Oh, no, I did.
Okay.
I did.
I didn't see it. I missed
Paul
it.
and Nolan saw it.
Oh. Huh, I missed that.
They appreciated it.
Bad emotions.
That's why I love Time Hop, because I could just look back and be like, ah, yes, this is when I was angry about everything. I have something vaguely video game related.
What is it?
So, last year and this year, my sorority big and I got letters that have video game related fabric. The first one that we got was Pokemon, and it had Red and Pikachu on it. The other one has a bunch of Triforces on it, and it looks amazing and wonderful and nerdy as all hell, and I love it.
I have so many posters up in my room. Like, it's not even funny. I don't even care about anything, like, about it. What anyone thinks. Like, my poster haven is my poster haven. You can see them sometimes in my vlogs. I always sit in front of my awesome Ace Attorney ones that I got in Anime Expo this year. Actually, most of the wall was Ace Attorney. But that's beside the point. Yeah, that's awesome. That's about all I got, actually. That wasn't going anywhere.
My big also made me a poster when I got my bid last year, and it has a 3DS open, and it has Ash, and then on the bottom it says, "I choose you, little Anna," and then on the very bottom it has Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright pointing, and I'm like, this is the best thing. Whoever did this, I love you.
That's cute.
The best. I love it. Also, my boyfriend got a Pikachu hat, which his brother kept stealing, and then he gave it to me because I asked if I could have it. And his brother is really pissed off because he didn't get it and I did.
Isn't that just a really polite form of stealing, though?
Yes, it is.
There you go. Sometimes polite forms of stealing are necessary.
It's a really awesome hat.
Especially if it's an awesome hat.
Yeah, all is well.
All right, do we want to wrap up with
Yeah.
Wait, we can wrap up with what games we've been playing
Okay.
recently, and then we'll call it a podcast.
Sound good. Who goes first?
Not it.
All right, fine. I'll go first. Games I've been playing. Well, obviously, Holiday Star is wrapping up currently. I'm just about done with that.
And are you playing that for your channel too?
I am. Yes.
Okay.
It just
YouTube.com/Ace Fangirl.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if that's my actual URL, but just put Ace Fangirl onto YouTube and you'll find it. You'll find me. And I need to start playing the next game that I'm LPing to start practicing, but I'm taking a hiatus week, so I'll probably do it then. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Story of Seasons because it's very stress relieving and I like farming. That's honestly about it. I haven't really had a whole lot of time recently, but and then also whatever games I play with my friends. So before Christmas, we played a little bit of Skyward Sword in his room. I helped him beat the stupid scorpion boss that plagued me for so long, and I beat it with no trouble, and that made me grow as a person. And then I mentioned we played Battlefront already, and then I don't know what else we're going to play. I don't know what he has, so we'll go from there. We mostly use his PS4 to watch anime, not going to lie. And that's it. That's all I got. Anna, go.
Okay. I just finished Anna's Quest, which is from the same people who made Deponia, and I liked it. I liked it. It was pretty good. I think I liked the story for Deponia better, but the character was adorable and sweet, and the main character of Deponia is not. He's a huge freaking butt. But
so wait, okay, 100% honest. How much the reason you bought this game because it was from the people who made Deponia, and how much was it because it was called Anna's Quest?
It was mostly because it was from the people who made Deponia and Night of the Rabbit, because those two games made me really happy. Like maybe 2% of it was because, hey, it's my name, and like my friends don't believe me, but I'm just like, yes, I bought it because it's a good game. Stop judging me. Just because it has my name. And I told my mom about that too, and she's just like, well, you can't help it that they think your name is beautiful. And I'm like, yes. I've recently started Franbo, which is really good. Kind of very gory at the beginning, but very good. And then Fantasy Life I played a lot of when I first got it. I haven't been playing it as much. What else? I wish I hadn't closed Steam that I could look, but I started playing Game Dev Tycoon again, but not very much.
Oh, it's a good game.
Yeah, and I haven't played Sims in a while, because for a while I was just doing that. I've just been doing a bunch of other things, because school started, and everyone loves that.
Oh, I forgot. I actually have been messing around with a certain project on Sims a bit that I'm not going to say anything else about yet, but I am trying to figure out some stuff.
Yeah.
But
hopefully, isn't the plan to get that if things get all worked out with that, to get it running on the live stream?
That's the plan currently.
That's one of the things. Yeah, so for those, we're taking advantage of this site hiatus to sort of flesh out some other, I guess you could call it media stuff. Like right now, we are working on standardizing Hacks and Slash into a monthly podcast format.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can talk about. I mean, it's not really going to change anything except we're going to write down the rules, which are more like a guide than rules to how to do it, and then release one every month is the goal. But we're also going to try to start getting set up so that we can do more regular live streaming stuff.
Yeah, hopefully that's going to be able to be done from my end. I'm working it out with some people that I'm getting advice from recording from, because I just ran some tests actually yesterday because I was planning on doing some recording and I got some audio problems that I'm trying to work out. So hopefully at least I'm going to get something up for that soon. It is still a thing, but I had a lot of trouble with it because I thought they deleted themselves again, and it did not happen. Thank God I found them. They keep hiding from me. It's very rude. All right, Joe, what games are you playing?
I played through Portal 2 again, which was fun. And then I went and played a bunch of the community test chambers, which are actually, like, I guess now that it's a little more normalized, that it's really only people who are super passionate about the game making levels. But, I mean, there's a lot of good content in there. And it's fun to just sort of go through and play a bunch of levels, just new levels.
Yeah.
One of these days, I want to get someone and play through the co-op, the main co-op campaign, and also a bunch of the user-created co-op levels, too. So I would
totally do that with you sometime. We'll talk about it.
This is not the place.
Not the place to talk about it.
What does your schedule look like, Diana? Let me just.
I don't even know.
Please publicly broadcast your schedule to the entire internet.
Well,
at 5 o'clock, I have this pigeon date.
I have a hot pigeon date with, No, I'm not even going to joke about that. Not after what happened.
So Portal 2, and then, like I said before, I've been getting back into playing Pokemon Showdown a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's another game that I want to try to get more people to play so I can play against them instead of random strangers, and like really work out like team dynamics and like playing it like, because like honestly for me the most fun about playing online Pokemon Showdown is playing mind games with people. Like when you have like a ground and fire type but it knows a grass type move, and the other person has like a water and ground type, right? But they don't know that you have a grass type move, so they're going to expect you to switch, but then you don't, even though you probably should.
Yeah,
but you know that they're not going to use the move that would kill you because they're expecting you to switch, and so you get a free hit on them. Those are the kind of things that I really like to do in Pokemon Showdown, and that's a lot easier when you're playing against an actual person who can who you can like sort of establish patterns with more easily, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because in a regular game against a stranger, you only have one match to establish a pattern. But if you play against the same person a bunch of times, then it sort of becomes more about trying to figure out what that person would do rather than what could happen, what is like an optimal strategy and stuff like that. So those are the two, and then Smash Bros. I play lots of Smash Bros, but I already talked about that. Those are the main ones. I don't really think there's anything else going on right now in terms of video game playing. So that's that.
Yay, video games.
Yay, video games. I'm glad we all like video games here at GameCola, because that's...
Thank God.
Yeah, it would be a very tricky podcast if were that not the case. So thanks everyone for listening to this edition of the GameCola Podcast. We talked a little bit about our media plan, so if you're interested in helping us figure out what we want to do with that, leave a comment wherever you are, YouTube, on the website, or send us an email at podcast@gamecola.net. Once Jetty is a little bit less busy trying to redo the whole website, we'll get him to help us look at the email a little bit more. If you are not on our internet website, you can visit us at our actual, hopefully when the hiatus is over, you can look at our actual internet website, gamecola.net. At the time of recording, we're on hiatus, but if you're listening through on a later date, it could very well have been re-updated. So keep an open mind. Also, depending on where you are, you could also check us out on YouTube, which is gc.net, the letter G, the letter C, the word dot, the word net. We post the podcast there eventually. We do lots of video stuff. We talked about some of them, like Ace Attorney, Virtue's Last Reward. If you want to follow us on social media, there are many channels for which you can do that. You can look us up on Twitter, just search GameCola. Facebook, search GameCola. We like to post questions, discussion topics on that Facebook page. And if you want to listen to us on iTunes, we have an account with iTunes. You can set it up on your little phone on the little podcast app and get updates whenever we upload a podcast. And you can rate us 5 stars unless you don't want to rate us 5 stars in case iTunes is not a thing that really exists. What you need to go to is iTunes.net. Go to iTunes.net. That's where you want to go if you want to rate us not 5 stars.
If you want to rate us
Actually,
2.5 stars, I don't think there's a number that low.
For all, iTunes might have bought like iTunes.net to redirect it.
Really?
Yeah. Just don't even bother. Why
don't
would
even
you?
try.
It's
fine.
stupid. Like, it's fine. You don't have to exert the effort.
Like, seriously.
Off the record, I don't think it does. I just checked.
Okay.
So yes, go to iTunes.net if you want to rate us not 5 stars. Yes. Did I miss anything? Twitch, our Twitch channel. Just search GameCola. We'll hopefully begin to start doing stuff like that soon once the hiatus is over, or maybe before if we can get all of our eggs in a row. I don't think that's the phrase. It
Ducks
might
in
be.
a row?
Ducks in a row. Yeah. Don't count. Yeah. I think I was counting them before they hatched. So, thank you again for listening to this episode of the GameCola Podcast. We hope you have a lovely time wherever you are, college, not college. Those are all the things you can be.
Yeah, pretty much that's about it.
So thanks again. Thanks for listening. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Video games are awesome. The end.
Video games are awesome. I agree. That's great. Video games.
Video games.